stress, anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, all of those negative emotions that we face on a consistent basis. I just woke up my dogs here. Is it the best exercise athletes can do? I'm going to make the argument that it's the best exercise that you're not doing. And even if you are doing it, this may be giving you a little different perspective on box breathing itself. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Sam Nott. I help athletes on the inner game so they can master the outer game. Just doing a little computer work here, getting myself organized. Wanted to make this video for everybody as I head out into my garage here, where do some home workouts and hang out in the garage, do a little teaching here. You see I got a TV, so on and so forth. But box breathing, if you're not familiar with box breathing is a technique that's taught to the Navy SEALs. And it's to help keep calm during times of intense pressure, times where you need to focus, times where you need to perform at an optimal level. There's a little breeze out there. I was going to go outside. There's a little breeze there. So in order to get the most out of your performance as an athlete, you can be the most physically prepared person on the field. You can be in the best shape conditioning-wise, strength-wise. You can have the best talent. You can have the best skill. If the way you process your sport, if the way you process what's going on in your performance, whether you play a team sport or whether you play an individual sport, the way you process what's going on around you, the way you're being stimulated from the outside, the way you're taking in information, all of the people that you hear, all of the things that you hear, all of the things that you see, all of the things that you feel, all of those negative emotions I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you can't process those things clearly enough, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. It doesn't matter how good of shape you're in. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how much possibilities can come out of you as an individual in terms of performing here and now. If we're not able to control our breath, which in turn helps us control our emotions, which in turn helps us control our mindset, which in turn helps us control our body, which in turn helps us to perform better. If we cannot control our breathing as an athlete, we're not going to perform. So box breathing is a technique that's taught to the Navy SEALs. Obviously, they're in a lot more pressure. They're under a lot more pressure than you or I or any other athlete would ever have to be under. Sometimes mentally and emotionally, we process our sports like it's the end of the world, but Navy SEALs are the elite of the elite. So it's good enough for Navy SEALs. It's definitely good enough for us as athletes. And the reason it's so effective is because of its simplicity. Now we can dive into the science of the breath in terms of, activating your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems with breathing in versus breathing out, and, impacting blood oxygen levels with breath holds and so on and so forth. We don't need to complicate things. That's why I love the box breathing technique. Everyone can imagine a box. Everyone can imagine a square, right? It could be 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. It could be 2. It could be 3. It could be 4. It could be 5. It could be any number. But anyone can imagine a box. 4 equal sides. And the exercise is so incredibly simple. If we were able to do it, if you were able to implement it as an athlete before your practices, before a critical situation, during timeouts, before the game, any breaks that you have in the game, between quarters, between periods, depending on what sport you play, if you were able to strategically implement this exercise, it'll bring you back to the present. It'll allow you to do all of those things that I listed, your mindset, your emotions, and your performance, and your focus. So just imagine a box with me. I'll walk you through it a couple of times. And we're going to start with a count of 4. So your box is 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. Everyone can imagine that for a second. So just imagine your 4 by 4 by 4 by 4 box. And it's as simple as this. You're going to breathe in for 4 seconds as you start the first side of the box. You're going to hold for 4 seconds as you complete the second side of the box. You're going to breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds as you complete the third side of the box, and you're going to hold for 4 seconds. So the breath in is going to be a breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. I'll go through the exercise with you. So in for 4. Ready? We're going to go through it right now. In for 4. Hold for 4. Out through your mouth for 4. Hold for 4. In through your nose for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Hold for 4. So, don't worry about my fingers there. And I was counting this way. In my mind, I was going through the 4 seconds. But all you need to do is count the 4 seconds in your mind. The 4 seconds as you go around the box, as you imagine yourself traveling around this box with your breath. And you're going to find if you're able to do 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds before game, before practice, before critical moment, you're going to find yourself able to focus. You're going to find yourself able to perform at the level that you know you're capable of performing, because that's the frustrating thing about sports. We know we're capable of performing at a certain level, and then, these things called emotions get in the way, and this idea of our mindset gets in our way, and our performances are not up to our own standards. So if you want to perform up to your own standards, it's a simple exercise that you can start implementing and you can start using today, and you can see an immediate impact. Your body's going to process things a lot quicker. You're going to get more oxygen to your different muscles. You're going to get more oxygen to your brain. You're going to be able to process your emotions a lot quicker, a lot more clearly. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. And if you're an athlete that wants to improve on the inner game so you can master the outer game, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Look out for new videos I'm putting out all the time. And I'll see you guys on the next video.